What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I want to give you guys some quick updates on a situation at 140. So it looks like Lucas Matthysse has put himself back in a position to get a rematch that he wants, or possibly get a rematch. So the mandatory for Danny Garcia, and it's been this way for since last year, is Viktor Postol. So Danny Garcia has some tough questions, and I'm gonna get to that in this video. But if they do fight, Danny Garcia and Viktor Postol, who is a mandatory at 140, Danny Garcia being the lineal champion, then the winner is supposed to face Lucas Matthysse. So that'll give, if Danny Garcia beats Viktor Postol, it'll give Lucas Matthysse a shot at redemption. And we all seen on the Mayweather Canelo undercard how the initial fight played out. So in my opinion, and I talk to boxing fans daily. I mean, I appreciate all the support you guys send me, your comments, tweets, Facebook, Instagram, comments on here. So I appreciate that. And the general consensus, if I had to sum it up, Danny Garcia kind of needs some damage control. He's a good fighter, solid resume. However, he's on a bit of a dry spell after the Lucas Matthysse fight, which was probably one of his biggest wins, or one of the wins that a lot of people were doubtful of him being able to, I guess, get past. He's been on the kind of the downslide. He fought Mauricio Herrera, had every advantage being the champion. Mauricio Herrera off a loss, fought him in Puerto Rico, and whether you thought he won or lost, I personally had Mauricio Herrera winning. That's just me. But either way, it wasn't an impressive performance. It definitely wasn't one of his best performances, and he got tagged a lot. And I thought Mauricio Herrera's jab controlled the fight. So he had that. Then he came back, fought Rod Salka, a guy from lighter division, no punching power. So even though he got a stoppage in that, you don't get credit for that. You don't get credit for beating a guy who you had no business fighting with to begin with. You know what I mean? It just shouldn't have happened. Then you come back, fight Lamont Peterson, no belts on the line, at a catchweight. Lamont Peterson, he makes you miss a lot in the first half, and you're stalking, and then you look like you're fatiguing, and then that's where Lamont Peterson comes alive, like, bow, oh, you thought I was done? And he started to hurt Danny Garcia, push him back, and it was an ugly performance from Danny Garcia in the Lamont Peterson fight, where there was more controversy. People thought Lamont Peterson won. So that's his chronological order. So he's a bit far removed from the Zab Judah, the Khan, the Lucas Matthysse wins. And if you look at his most recent 3 fights, 2 of them have been highly controversial, where a lot of people thought he lost. And then one was a no credit type of fight against Rod Salka. So in my opinion, he has to do something. He has to do something in a hurry, and he has to get a big win, because a lot of people are losing hope in Danny Garcia, and everyone's been like, oh, he's been exposed. And that's really the general consensus that I've received from a lot of people. So Viktor Postol, it's another ugly type of fight. Viktor Postol is long, no homo, and he can box. He's a good boxer. So that's a tricky fight, because if you don't look good in that fight, then, I mean, your stock goes way down. So I don't know if he's going to stay at 140, if he plans to move up to welterweight. Either way, in my honest opinion, Danny Garcia is in a very precocious and tough spot. He's in a very tricky spot right now. You stay, you got a mandatory. And then you got a guy like Lucas Matthysse. And I wouldn't even mind seeing the Lucas Matthysse rematch, because Lucas Matthysse is a good fighter. Some people whine and complain about the eye. This is boxing. You have to get past stuff like that and overcome those obstacles. But, I mean, it wasn't like it was just a phenomenal, like Danny Garcia, I thought he convincingly won. But Lucas Matthysse was game the whole way through with a messed up eye. So without a messed up eye, I would be curious to see how it unfolds. But the thing is, so if you stay, you got to fight your demons in terms of a rematch with Peterson, a rematch with Herrera. You got a guy like Viktor Postol, tricky style, in a style that has complicated you, and a style that people feel like the blueprint is already out on how to beat you. Viktor Postol possesses some of those things. So that's a tricky fight. Or you got a guy like Lucas Matthysse, who, since the loss to you, has been knocking out people and looking good. He knocked out John Molina, knocked out Roberto Massa, and then he looked good against Ruslan Provatnikov. So that's waiting for you at 140. Or you could say, hey, I'm a growing kid, and move up But then you got guys like Mayweather, Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, Kell Brook, Amir Khan, who's been looking good in his recent performances. Robert Guerrero. You got a lot of guys that are generally bit bigger, and a lot of them can box and punch and stuff like that. So I think Danny Garcia is in a really, really sticky and tough situation. I'm going to be interested in definitely following his career closely to see how he gets out of this bind. I still think he has talent, but it's just he's in a bad position because there's some bad matchups at 140, things that have plagued him in the past at 140, or a guy who's a good boxer puncher and wants revenge in Lucas Matthysse, or the tricky guys like Postol, Peterson, Mauricio Herrera at 140, or you move up and there's big dudes with probably more power, the Maidanas and stuff. All them dudes have more power. So I don't know. I don't know where he goes from here. So I'm definitely going to tune into his next fight to see what he decides. Is he going to take his mandatory of Viktor Postol, a tricky fight, or is he going to just dump the belts and move straight up? Either way, these are all risky fights, in my opinion, for Danny Garcia. You drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. What should Danny Garcia do next? Should he stay and clear up some of those blemishes? Fight his mandatory, rematch Lucas, rematch Peterson, Herrera? Should he move up, fight a Maidana, Keith Thurman, Kell Brook type? Should he fight Adrian Broner? I mean, these are all difficult fights for him. So I'm very interested to see what his next move is, him and his team. And hopefully it's not a backtrack. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.